Talk a little bit about your experience with the Navy SEALs.
When I was invited into this project, um, it was very unusual because I had invented something that wasn't supposed to exist. That was an extraordinary time in my life. The being in the defense industry and having the privilege to work with some U.S. military contractors like General Dynamics, Newport News Shipbuilding was an extraordinary experience. I would say that we live in very, very strange times today, and I would be the first one to say I would rather have peace than war or the threats of war. And I hope we're at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We're all created by the same God, and we should live in peace and harmony and love one another. It's a little bit of a sad commentary that governments need to design and stockpile weapons to defend their nations, that humanity has not been able to grow past that. But that's the way the world is today. So back in the mid to late 90s, I had a small company with a group of guys in Georgia. And what we were doing was developing new methods of power generation for submarines. And this was all for emergencies. So I had quite a few inventions that I had developed, and I got invited to be part of a design team for a mini sub. So this was going to be a next generation technology, and the mini sub actually attached to the primary sub. In those days, it was the USS Virginia. And when I was invited into this project, it was very unusual because I had invented something that wasn't supposed to exist. And so the fellow that was running the project said, "Look, I'm really impressed with what you did with this project. Just take a look at what we're doing and see, where you might want to make a contribution." And so I took a look at the program and I thought, well, the crew of this sub are Navy SEALs. They're going on these really long missions, and they could have to stay awake for 30 or 60 hours. And they're going to have to take caffeine, amphetamines to stay awake. And there's something about this that I really don't like. So maybe we could find a way to keep them awake, give them more energy without having them to take drugs. So I started working on that concept. I came up with the energy patches, and right at the same time, almost the same time, 9/11 started. So for me personally, one of the, and now the rest of the LifeWave community, 9/11 was a tragic event. But if that had never happened, I would have just stayed developing products for the military and never gotten out into the public. But that event forced me to find a way to market the patches other than through the military. And of course, the rest, as they say, is history.